to speed now on how the Philippine markets have started trading in the first 10 minutes on this final workday of the week. The Philippine Stock Exchange Index is up by about 0.1% at 6,251. So that's a second day of gains. The index bounced back Thursday after its 2 straight days of decline. Let's take a look at the Philippine peso and see how that's opened in the past hour. It's opened slightly stronger at 57.35 to the dollar. The peso closed yesterday flat at 57.36 pesos against the greenback. Our guest says for the first time in 2 years, the team is bullish on Philippine equities with a target price of 7,600 for the PSCI. With us now for more is Kyle Garcia of the Institutional Research Team at First Metro Securities. So good to see you, Kyle. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, good morning, Kathy. Thanks for having First Metro.
All right, so where have you been all along? You've been rotating out of which assets then in favor of equities?
Yeah, so for the past 2 years, we have been defensive in the market. We had a 6-7 call for those 2 years, and we focused on defensive names that have dividend yields. And as a stock brokerage, we even suggested bonds. But as we turn more bullish this year, we think it's time. It's time to purchase your risk assets, your what we call in-tech glamour names, so the big caps, the banks, some property names, as well as the conglos, and even retailers.
You know, I'm loving the spirit here, Kyle, because when you take a look at that chart there that we just shown, PSCI has been on a decline since the start of the year. It's one for the courageous investors to get into that. But you can see that bouncing just above and below 6,200 for the most part. And you're saying that now is the time to get in. Why?
Well, there's a lot of good news that's definitely coming in the market. We have a strong growth story, but what we would like to zero down in is the current valuations are very, very attractive. So if you look at the equity risk premium against the US 10-year and the Philippine 10-year, it's about 600 basis points and 400 basis points respectively, right? And these reflect almost crisis levels evaluations. But if you look at the economy right now, it's good. There's nothing to be spooked about. And that's why it's really time to get in. Valuations are attractive.
Okay, you've talked about the equity risk premium, but what about the political risk, Kyle? You've picked quite an interesting time. The heat is on with just less than 2 months to the midterm elections, and the battle between the two powerful political dynasties has escalated with Duterte's arrests. So how are you and the team assessing the political risk premium by far?
Yes, interesting times in the market. But these political noise create a lot of uncertainty, which we have a lot of. There's an initial reaction of the market. As you can see earlier in the week, there was a big decline. But if you look at what's been happening also in the past few days, prices have normalized. We've actually seen net foreign inflows already. And we think as these political noise disappears, we focus more on the fundamentals of the economy, which we think there's a lot of good news that hasn't been priced in yet.
Okay, 30 seconds, Kyle. What are you investing in? Which sectors?
Oh, so which sectors? So for this one, we like retailers. We like some some property names. We like SM, the banks also. There are big cap names. As we rally, focus on those.
All right, we hear you, and we hear the optimism there. Thank you so much, Kyle Garcia of First Metro Securities Live.